Alrighty, quick uh, reaction to the 2-1 loss to Manchester City. Was really, I kind of hoped we could get something out of this game just because I seen City's lost 5 games already this season to some shite teams pretty much. And, uh, just riding high after the 2 wins we just had, was kind of hoping that Everton would be able to find their, footing in this game and get something out of it. But um, pretty early on in the first half, you could see that the team just, I don't know what it was. It's probably a combination of factors: tired legs, probably mostly that, exhaustion, and uh, they're playing with no midfield, and they're playing a team with probably one of the best midfields in the game right now, or at least in the Premier League. So um, you could kind of see where the match was headed early. I mean, we got into at half 0-0, and came out, and all in the first half, Gabriel Jesus was getting a lot of chances. I forget to say in the first half they almost scored, but it was offside from Mahrez. But anyway, second half came out, no changes, and Jesus just picks up where he left off in the first half and just starts scoring. I mean, um, one of them was just a long ball in, and he just splits uh, the two defenders or the three defenders, I can tell, and just puts it in. And then he scored another one. Uh, just a nice finish and everything. I forget the way his second goal looked, but whatever. He scores on us every time we play them. And shoot, 2-0 at that point, and then we sub off. They took Sigurdsson off and brought Keane in. That was the second sub, I think. Walcott went on first. I forget who went off for Walcott, but uh, it it for about 2/3 of the game we didn't look like anything, and then when the subs came on, we started to push a little bit more, and finally had a lot of pressure up top in their box, with Keane, Richarlison, and Calvert-Lewin, and Keane kind of, you know, in there wreaking havoc, tries to make a pass over to DCL. He it deflected off of a Man City player to DCL, I think, and then DCL tries to cross it. It deflects off another Man City player, and then goes to Richarlison, and Richarlison uh, puts it in easily. 2-1. That was about 70 minutes in the game, and probably had 20 minutes left, and kind of thought maybe we could get in it, but Everton was putting some pressure on. Then toward the end of the game, we were just hoofing it, and then getting up in their faces, won some corners. Didn't really do anything with the corners from what I could see, and I don't know. It just was kind of a letdown game. Once City put up those 2 goals, I know my emotions just said, ugh, what did I expect? Why did I why did I expect us to even get anything out of this? I was kind of just hoping for a draw there at the end, and just wanting to push the uh, the honeymoon a little bit further with Carlo Ancelotti, but I guess the team's just on fumes now, and uh, just, oh man, Richarlison was terrible today to me. I mean, I know he scored the goal, but he gave the ball away. It seemed like every time he touched it, he either tried a light, soft pass that went right to City, or he tried to dribble past somebody and just runs by the ball while the guy just sticks his leg out, takes it from him. He gave the ball back to them so much. I mean, every player was kind of doing that too. Our midfield was like, it was like non-existent. It was just like rubber bands in the midfield as our midfield players, because every time the ball went to him, it bounced back or bounced to a City player. It just was, there's nothing there. It was depressing, and it's hard to, when you're watching a game, it's hard to just accept that our midfield's gone, and that it's not gonna we're not really gonna be fully competitive against a team like City without a key component of the game. My emotions were getting in it, and I was just really upset. But it is what it is at this point. We need at least at least, I mean, I know Delph was in today with Sigurdsson, and I'm starting to think that any combination of them two, like any midfield with Sigurdsson in it is slow, and then you had Davies and Delph, and it was slow. Like it was like they would get the ball and give it away. They get the ball, and Delph was fine. I think he did what he does, which is sort of get the ball, calm down, get out of trouble, settle things down, and pick out a pass. That's what I'm seeing is that he's good for. Not really so offensive. You know, he might run the ball forward a little bit, but it's usually like he gets it, collects it, he doesn't really get it taken off of him too much. And he's got some escapability and he'll get away and then make a pass. But definitely not like linking the attack from the back to the front. Davies couldn't do that. Sigurdsson just slow, just couldn't do anything. I don't really remember him even having the ball. I'd be interested to see what his passes were this game, but yeah, like Willow of the Wisps, midfield, just sliced through all game, and whatever. Now we got a big game against Liverpool coming up in the FA Cup, but in that game I actually don't care. We're right now. I just want the team to get some rest and some good instruction under Carlo Ancelotti, and I hope we can get healthy, man. Like, oh yeah, the big thing. How could I forget this? Bernard went off early, which the lineup was the same lineup against Burnley, and in that game, Bernard was like the link between the back and the front, right? He was kind of wreaking havoc against Burnley. You almost thought he'd be the one to score in that game, but he got hurt in warm-ups. So like right off the bat, that was probably our way to sort of break them down or give them something to think about, if anything. I mean, Bernard sliding into the middle. I actually think he plays better in the middle than off on the wing. I mean, what do I know? But I liked when I see him running at guys from the middle of the field with sort of like options to his left and right instead of him running down one side, kind of having to look in on only one side and not no other options other than that. But whatever. We're banged up. We're exhausted. We need. I know Gomez is probably not coming back. I wish that Gabaman could come back, but I bet he's not. His situation is not much better than Gomez's probably in that. Even if he does come in, and I probably shouldn't expect much from him this season. But it'd be cool to see him in the midfield because he's huge. It's like having a tank in midfield, and he looked from what we saw earlier this season. Given that the game was flying by him, he was definitely not up to speed, but he didn't look like, a deer in headlights. He kind of, you could see him bossing a game, like taking it to people in the midfield, sort of what Delph does, except bigger. And who knows what his offensive touch is. So it'd be good to have somebody like that. I hope he has some pace. I don't know, just kind of grasping at straws for our midfield situation. And maybe something happens in the transfer window after this Liverpool game. Carlo Ancelotti's been saying, not going to get a striker, and he's really only going to try to assess the situation after this Liverpool game. So I find it funny that they didn't have to play today. So like they kind of catch all the breaks, but whatever. But anyway, I'll just leave it there. I mean, it's probably we've had our fun with this, big dunk and now Carlo Ancelotti, and now it's time to really do the real work of, you know, steadying the ship. We've kind of ridden the new manager bounce, as it were, and maybe now it's just time to sort of, as fans, be patient, watch, hope that things slowly but surely, go in the upward trajectory and that Everton can sort of get something out of this season. Up the Toffees.